Hey everybody, great to see you here again at the Red Barn, but we aren't at the Red Barn. We're at the Secret Undisclosed shop where we are going to do one more round of stuff before Wide Red gets its road test, and we wrap up my phase of the work on this wonderful car. As I think I've mentioned before in the past, Greg is going to be taking this bad boy up to his new shop, and we'll tell you more about that later. But for this episode, let's wrap this thing up and get it back on the road, shall we? Enjoy. All right, just a quick check-in on the latest progress, and here you can see this tidy little bracket, little aluminum bracket that ties to that structure, and it comes over here and mounts to a little pickup point off the inner fender with rib nuts on the bracket. So the only thing you get on the underside is that, and those will get some washers and maybe a little protection, but they're stainless steel anyway. And so, yeah, we also are going to put a couple of holes here, little dimple die action to tidy that up, make it a little prettier. But that's all mounted, so we are now at the point where all we got to do is bleed the clutch and the brakes, and we're waiting for a couple of those oddball cone screws because the other ones were kind of screwed up. And once those arrive, the shifting system is done, and we road test, and that's it for this phase. So, almost there. Okay, we're down to the last couple things before this test drive. The pedal assembly is done, the brakes are bled, the clutch is bled. The shifter stuff is all sorted, the throttle pedal's done, and we, based on everything else that's been going on with what we find with this car, I said, before I'm driving this, we're gonna do a walk around of the only other system that we haven't really touched that would potentially hurt somebody, and that is the steering. And okay, so check this out. So first of all, this, when Greg went to tighten it, that was about how tight it was. It barely required a wrench to get it loose. And you probably, I don't know if you can see that coming through, but if you pull that all the way off, you can see that the threads of the top, take that all the way off, you can see the threads of the top of that ball joint are essentially gone. And there was no cotter pin in there. Yeah, you can see you can push the thing halfway down there before it even engages any threads. So we need to do some tie rod ends, but I will say that we are going to tighten that down as best we can and cotter pin it. And I am gonna daredevil drive this thing.
Did you bring your helmet today?
Yeah, I was gonna say I gotta get my race suit and my life insurance policy updated.
Fire suit? Do we need the fire suit too?
But this is in keeping with, and you know, at first when this build started, I was trying to be sort of, I don't know, magnanimous, whatever the right word is for that, to be like, hey, I don't know the story about the previous build, but I think it's safe to say every single thing on this car that we've looked at was wrong, bad, or dangerous like this. So, man alive, careful when you buy stuff sight unseen, but you know, this probably wouldn't have shown up even if you did an inspection. I mean, I guess you'd have to inspect every single piece of the car. But in any case, we're gonna go ahead and do a complete inspection of the steering, and then we are gonna go drive this thing around. I'm not doing any tack runs or burnouts or how fast does this thing go. It's really just to prove out that everything that we said we were gonna fix is fixed. So we'll be back to you in a minute. And because we assume that they're consistent, this was one finger on the wrench. This is not doing it justice, but when Greg came over to this side, he said, "Oh my God!" And it was literally less than a finger on the wrench to get that loose. And again, no cotter pin on.
At least this one is not stripped.
This one's not as bad as the other one,
yeah,
but again, no cotter pin safety protection on there, and it was essentially just more than finger tight. So, oh my God, every single thing. All right, momentous occasion. Wide Red has not been on its wheels on the ground for a number of months, and we are one wheel torque away from firing this bad boy up and taking it out for a test drive as it sits. So the hood pins are down, and it hasn't quite settled into ride height. So it's looking like the moon rover. Look at this thing. All right, so we'll be right back after we torque the wheels and fire this up. Well, there you go. That was a smashing success. Everything, but no smashing. Everything works the way it's supposed to work. So, as I said, I want to wrap up my phase of work on this and hand this off officially to Greg. Greg is now on the hook. He has committed to continuing to film. So we'll have a complete documentation line on everything that happens to this car, so that in the future, should the owner ever want to sell it, there will be no worries about sketchiness of build like we've seen up to this point. Anyway, I want to do, as a final wrap, I want to walk through everything that got done to the car while it was here. And again, just kind of wrap up this phase of the build. And I'm not even sure where to start, but let's just start at the front of the car. As you know, the entire front section of the car had been removed. It's way too big of an opening in the fenders in combination with all that stuff. And this side, which was it? This side of the car, this corner had been moved up a little bit. So the chassis was corrected. We added these strut bars to stabilize the front end. Greg did a wonderful job of replacing the entire front floor pan up to the nose, and we were just looking down in there and realizing you can't even tell that was done. So yes, some more priming work has to be done here, but floor pan complete replacement, brand new nose panel from Restoration Design. As I mentioned, the struts, so the front end is completely stabilized. We relocated the master cylinder fluid reservoirs up here and moved the clutch master fluid reservoir to the top, where before it was a component of the master cylinder. You remember the sketchy brake lines that were down in here that had no support after the P-clamps and were going to be a failure death trap at some point. Those lines were moved under the car like the stock location. You can see, barely see, the hard line coming out, transitioning to the soft line over to the calipers, which, as you recall, were upside down and backwards. So those were flipped, moved to the appropriate location. And what am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anything else on the front of the car?
Nope.
Nope.
Say hi to me.
Yeah, there's Martin. Say hi, Martin. Everybody say hi to Martin. Early repairs, as you may recall, there was a big old chunk taken out of this seat support, so Greg did a lovely job of doing that. We removed those horrid 911 seats. Not that the seats are horrid, but the seating position was completely wrong for this car. You sat way too high and bonked your head on this cage. So those are removed, and we reinstalled the factory bracketry to put a stock 914 seat in here. It's very popular to replace these with aftermarket seats, but there are a number that are made that bolt right to those factory 914 sliders, so that's a good basis for the owner to move forward. The pedal assembly, you saw that brake rod break during the bleeding process, and good God, that might have killed somebody. Anyway, that got all fixed. All new master cylinders, new reservoir hoses, the throttle cable, which was a lovely old Volkswagen part that was, as you recall, wrapped around a rod coming off the throttle pedal and secured with a hose clamp with no cable stop, has been completely fixed with a lovely cable stop with style point holes drilled in it to match the pedals, a new throttle cable, and a whole, I'm not going to open it up, you can see it in previous videos, a lovely throttle cable stop at the back of the car too. Appropriately weighted struts. You could almost bend this steel deck lid when you were trying to close it before. Those are replaced. The gaping hole right here has been replaced with a lovely panel, and then this entire open section, Greg did a lovely job of fabricating this removable engine and transmission cover, as well as welding in the crossbar that appeared to be an original design component of this car. The battery cables no longer route underneath and rub on the sway bar when it rotates, so that's been rerouted. And what am I forgetting? Oh, the shift bushing on the firewall has been replaced, so it shifts really nicely now. And what else? What else? I don't know, a bunch of little stuff. And you know, you go over a list like that and you realize, what took so long? You know, the car's been here for a number of months. And it wasn't full-time work. A lot of this was, you know, fits and starts of waiting for parts. As you know, as you guys that have done builds before know, it's like you get into something and, you know, suddenly it's like, whoops, we didn't know that was going to need to be replaced. But It is completed here, phase 1, I'm calling it. It's going up to Greg's shop. He's already got, the reason the bodywork's not on the car is he's already got the fenders and the front bumper at his place. And he's been commissioned by the owner to come up with a design to do completely concealed fasteners, correct all the wavy bodywork, and paint the car. So this thing is going to look ridiculous when it's done. I mean, it's going to look so cool. So, Greg, great job.
Yeah, thank you.
That's the man of the hour right there. I got to go back into my career as a project manager, and you know, I didn't do a lot to help, but
no, you did a lot. I mean, it's always been a 50% effort, you know.
yeah,
and,
meaning I put in 50% of what I could have put in.
yeah. Well,
But no, it worked out great, and the owner seems to be very, very pleased. And so I'm going to call it and say thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Big thanks to the owner for letting us sort of have our way with this build and say to him, this is what we're going to do to fix your car.
Yeah.
And he has been just a dream to work with. So if this car ever shows up for sale in the future, you guys can feel free to reach out to me via the channel, and I would be able to help, happy to fill in anything that I can fill in. Greg's going to be available to talk to anybody that might need to know about the car in the future.
they're already reaching out to you.
There you go. That was my phone ring. So we are here to say goodbye to Wide Red and welcome to the next phase.
Yeah.
It's in your capable hands, my friend. Thank you very much. Everybody take care till we talk next time. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.